Welcome to Tea and Talk. I'm your host, Olivia Boughton. Today, I am joined by Kianna Giroux. Kianna, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here.
I'm glad to have you, and we'll get talking in a minute. But first, we'll talk about the tea.
Awesome.
So the tea set today is a little homage to the feline world, I guess. I love cats. And you told me before we started that you have a couple kitties at home.
I do, yes.
So, and this set was a gift from my husband for Christmas, and we also have 2 kitties at home. And I thought that it was finally time to showcase this lovely set. So, little black kitty on there, very fancy pink color, one of my favorites. So. And what I decided to brew today is an herbal concoction. It's called a tisane. Whenever there isn't actual tea leaves in a brew, it's called a tisane. So,
Okay.
But a lot of times we just call it herbal tea. So this is a lemon and lavender combination. And it actually has some chamomile in there as well.
Okay.
Some other, vegetation, shall we say. But it has a nice lemony flavor, but that lavender kind of gives it a gentle flavor, I think. So I do have some honey along with and some sugar cubes if you're interested in either of those. I don't know how you
Get into it.
how you like to have your tea, but I will pour you first. There you go. Okay. Nice light, kind of yellowy color, actually. Do you want any honey or sugar, or are you good?
I'm okay. It smells really good.
Good. That's a good sign that it smells good. I'm going to take it just as it is myself. A little hot, so be careful.
Yeah.
Well, we can let it cool for a moment if it's a little too warm.
It's good though.
Just get a sip in there. Yeah. So, Kianna, let's talk. Tell me,
Yes.
where did you grow up? What was your childhood life like?
Yeah. So I'm from Westford, Vermont. It's like 20 minutes outside of Burlington.
Okay.
And I have a big family. My parents adopted 10 kids.
Wow.
So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, yeah. It was awesome growing up. Westford is a very small town, and we had a lot of land. So growing up, I was outside a lot, riding four-wheelers and stuff like that. But yeah, so.
That's great. So, 10 kids in the house.
Yes, yeah.
So, what kind of age range were you close to?
So I'm like the 3rd youngest, and
Okay.
I also have a twin sister.
Oh my gosh.
Too, yeah.
Wow.
We were adopted together from Philadelphia. And then I have a younger sister who's 18, and then a sister just below me who's like 18 months younger, who's 21.
Okay.
And then what's next? Who's next? Let's see. My older brother, he is 24. I have another older sister who's 24, and then I have a brother who's 20. This is where the ages get a little confusing. I want to say 29. I think he just turned 29. And then an older sister who's 33. An older brother, 36.
So, I mean, a wide range.
A wide range, yeah.
But
from
also,
like 18 to late 30s.
yeah, but also some pockets of close ages, right? So what was the house like as a kid? Was it chaos?
Yes. Sometimes, yes, it definitely was, but I don't think I would have it any other way. Like being at school, sometimes I miss like the loudness and like, which is kind of weird, but it's always a good time with them. We all get along very well. We all have a lot of fun, so yeah.
Did you used to get into a lot of trouble as kids? Like
A little bit, yeah. There'd always be a little, sibling fights here and there. Going outside, we hurt each other a little here and there.
Okay.
Yeah, but for the most part, it was pretty good. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever like prank your parents or do anything crazy to them, or were you
Not
you
too-
good to them?
We were good to them.
Okay.
It was more like bullying each other, yeah, but out of love, it was, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's how it is, right? In bigger families a lot of times, right? It can be a sign of affection when you're,
Right.
messing with each other and
Yeah.
having a good time. But very good of you all for leaving your parents out of it, right?
Yeah.
They took on a lot, right?
We knew not to cross that line.
Yes, right. for everyone's sanity.
Right.
So let's see. So you said you had a lot of land, like farmland, or just a lot of property?
So my mom grew up on a farm in Westford,
Okay.
and a part of that land is now like ours. But my dad made maple syrup for a while, so it was a lot of like sugaring woods and stuff like that. But
And you helped with that?
I didn't, but my brothers did.
Okay.
It was fun to go watch like the sap and watch him make it, but I didn't really do much of the tapping or anything.
That's a lot of hard work,
It is,
actually.
yeah.
And I think I am a huge fan of maple syrup.
Me too.
Love it. And I think if you don't know, and if you're not from Vermont, certainly you may not think about how much work actually goes into producing just, a half a gallon or a pint
Right.
of syrup. It takes a lot of sap
Yeah.
to make just a little bit of syrup. And like you said, tapping the trees and, making sure that they're all the lines are
There are
clear.
no leaks and yeah.
Exactly, no leaks. And, because you have animals that sometimes walk through
Right.
lines,
Yeah.
right? And you have to go out in the
And then find those. Yeah.
yeah,
so
make
it is a
the
lot.
repairs, and then it's so variable depending on what the weather is doing.
Right.
How much
You'll have
sap-
days when it's running nonstop and you have to be out there nonstop, and then days when there's not.
right,
Right.
nothing, and then it can end just like that if it
Yeah.
gets too warm and the trees start to bud.
Right.
I was just speaking actually with someone locally who makes syrup, and he was starting to say he's getting a little nervous because already some of the trees are starting to show buds.
Right.
So, and that signals the end. So your dad made maple syrup. Does he still do that?
He these past couple years he stopped making it and would just sell sap to like my neighbor, our
Okay.
neighbors, and like our uncles and stuff. But this year he fully stopped. He fully retired. Yeah.
Retired. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. So did you have any like gardens, or did you grow any kind of things on the
Yeah,
on the
my
land?
mom loves plants. There's plants all over the house.
Okay.
Outside, she'll have like, I'm not very
You don't
good
have
at
a
the
green
names
thumb?
of like knowing what, but there are flowers around.
Okay.
And my dad has a garden every summer
Yeah.
with vegetables, cucumbers,
Nice.
tomatoes, everything.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Did you grow up with animals on
Yeah,
the property?
yeah. So I grew up with 4 dogs and 2 cats. Unfortunately, all of those dogs are now passed because they were when my older siblings were younger.
Okay,
That's when
okay.
we got them. I grew up with them, but we now have 3 more dogs and still 2 cats. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So are you a dog or a cat person? Since we're drinking out of,
Right. I would say I thought I was a dog person, but my sophomore year of college, we stumbled upon a free cat and kept it in our dorm. We weren't supposed to have it. And I ended up taking him home, and I loved him so much. And now I think I'm more of a cat person, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They're great, right? And I think sometimes they get that reputation of sort of being aloof,
Crazy and-
or just wild and having their own, will and way, which is all true, but they can be just
They're
sweethearts.
just chill, yeah.
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 So one of the ones at home is the one that you found?
Yeah, so actually, I brought him home. He was with us for a while, and then like my cats are indoor-outdoor cats, and I don't know where he went. He hasn't come back. Hopefully, I like to think he's out there, maybe a barn down the road with some barn cats living his life.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, I don't know his whereabouts right now. But we do have 2 other cats who stay, who has been with us for a while and hasn't wandered
So that's really
off,
interesting to think about, because he probably lived with somebody before you found him, and then you were his home.
Right.
And now he's disappeared
Now
again.
he's just-
Maybe he has another family who has taken him in, right? He's just sort
Hopping
of
around.
hopping around, doing cat things. So you went to high school up in.
I went to Essex High School.
Okay.
So I had choice.
Or do you not have a high school in?
Yeah, no, it's a very, very small town.
Yeah.
So I had choice. All my siblings went to Essex, so I went to Essex. I played basketball for 3 years. I didn't play my senior year. And yeah, so.
What other extracurriculars did you do? Just basketball or?
Mainly basketball. I did AAU, so that was like a lot.
That's intense.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah, it definitely is. And going out of state and playing like higher level people, we'd get crushed sometimes, but it was fun. It's always fun. I also was a part of Diversity Club, and we worked to like raise the Black Lives Matter flag and went on like field trips and stuff like that.
Great.
So that
That's
was
awesome.
Fun. Yeah. So.
Awesome. So and now you're in college.
I am.
Down this way at Vermont State Castleton campus, right? So what are you studying there?
Yeah, so I am studying media and communications with a concentration in public relations.
Okay.
I started out, actually, my goal was to be an athletic trainer.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I interned in high school with an athletic trainer, and I loved it. And then I got to school, and I realized this is not what I want to do.
So what was it that made you say, this is not for me?
1, anatomy. I hate anatomy. And 2, my first introduction course was intro to like athletic training or something, and we had to like wrap each other's feet, and it was just, I just didn't want to touch.
Oh, you're like, no.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think this is what I want to do. I loved sports and stuff, but yeah, I didn't think that was for me. So I started. So
how did you kind of segue into media?
I took a couple different courses. I took Intro to Communications, I think it was called, with Stephanie Wilson, and I didn't even realize that was like this was a whole thing that I could get into, and I loved it. So then I took I don't know, I think it was either Intro to Journalism or Media Writing or something the following semester. And then I realized, okay, I really want to get into this.
Yeah.
But I was still contemplating between sticking out athletic training. So I took a semester off, just trying to figure stuff out. And then I came back, and I was still a little undecisive. But I decided to keep taking classes related to communications, and I just enjoyed it a lot better and ended up switching. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Like you have this idea in your mind,
right?
Right.
And you think that's.
And I think that's true for a lot of people. You know, that was certainly true for me when I graduated college. Actually, I was like, you know what, this is what I'm going to do, and life went a totally different direction. And I think when you're able to recognize that maybe this isn't right for me and pivot, I think you're happier in the end,
right? Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Rather than, as you say, trying to stick something out and then force yourself into it, and then, you know, 10 years into a career, you're just miserable and unhappy, wrapping people's feet. You know? Like,
yeah.
Not for me.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like I was just like, you're just so young, like you don't know.
Sure.
And then like I could just tell a difference with classes. I was just more engaged. I liked it more. It was just fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is a big thing. Like you want to like what you're doing, and I did not like what I was doing before. So yeah.
So since you've been in college, have you played any sports in college?
No, unfortunately, which I kind of wish I did. And I wish I started out freshman year doing something, because now I'm just I'm so out of shape, nowhere near. I would do like, they would have intramural stuff, and I'd go play like pickup here and there, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But looking back, I kind of wish I did something, because Castleton, I feel like, I don't know, I could have picked up something, but I didn't, so.
Yeah, I feel like there's just not enough time.
Right.
Right? I mean, and that's not going to change the older that you get. That's just life.
Yeah.
There's never enough time to do all the things that any of us want to do, or try all the things that we want to try even.
Exactly.
So, yeah, sometimes you have to just make the decision to say, well, I'm not going to do that, you know.
Yeah.
So tell me why you decided to choose a school that's in-state, first of all, and down in this area of the state. So instead of somewhere up closer to Burlington, Essex, where you're from.
So I wanted to stay kind of close to home, but I didn't want to be at like UVM is just so big, and I was like, oh, it's too close. So I started looking at other options, and there was Castleton. And my brother-in-law went to Castleton, and they had a really good athletic training program, so that's what really
That's what drew
pushed
you
me.
there.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I just don't think I would have liked being in the Burlington area at UVM, but I don't think I would have liked how big the school was, and I feel like it's very easy.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Yep.
To like slip through the cracks and stuff. Because like I'm very close with all my professors. I know my professors know me. I know them, my classmates and stuff. I see a lot of the same people. And I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like I definitely would have slipped through the cracks a little bit if I went to a bigger school. So,
Yeah, I think Castleton is a nice size.
Yeah.
And the town is great. Does it remind you at all of your hometown, or is it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
It's nice that there's a lake. There was, I mean, there was like Lake Champlain back home, but this was a lot closer, so it's nice being near that.
Yep.
But it's definitely very similar to my town from home. It is bigger though, so yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I think sometimes when you live here, you're like, oh, it's such a tiny little town, right?
Right, but
there are lots of other places in the state where they don't have, you know, multiple restaurants,
store,
right?
gas station, nothing.
Store, gas station. Do you have a gas station in your town?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
okay.
so,
So perspective, right? Perspective.
Yeah.
So, you also are an intern here at PEG TV.
Yes.
So tell me how you ended up taking that opportunity here.
Yeah, so I was talking with my advisor. This was actually last semester. I was like, I really want to intern somewhere. And I was looking on my own, but she said that if like you can't find anything, like let me know, because like the communications department has a lot of like contacts and stuff. Yeah. And so then that towards the end of last semester, coming into this one, the conversation continued of either doing an internship or an independent study. And I really wanted to get like hands-on experience, you know, doing something. So I chose the internship. And she was like, okay, well, like I know some people at PEG TV, like we could look into that for you. And that's how pretty much landed. I was like, sure. So
yeah. And I know you've been out filming things in the community and, you know, doing stuff here, editing, whatever. And the last time I had my show, you were here just working, and I was like, come on my show.
You grabbed me.
Yes. And now you're a TV star as well, and an internet sensation, we hope.
Someday.
Yeah, someday. Right. So what are your plans for after graduation?
Yeah. So after this year, I have like around 8 credits left.
Okay.
So I'm taking classes over the summer. So I technically won't finish until the fall. I don't really, as of right now, it's to be determined. I'm peeking around at internships for the summer, closer to back home. I know some people who might be able to connect me somewhere. Other than that, I'll probably be working my restaurant job until like I'm done school, and then hopefully, I don't know yet, honestly. Just seeing what comes my way.
Do you feel like you want to leave?
Yeah.
Or you want to stay?
At first, I wanted to stay around for like a year or two, which I still wouldn't mind, but also if the opportunity presented itself for me to leave, I think I would. I love Vermont and I love being here, but I just feel like I need a different scene to really grow.
Sure.
But yeah. So.
Yeah. Are you some of your older siblings still in state, or are they elsewhere
Everyone's
too?
we're all in Vermont, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So so would you be the first one
Yeah.
venturing out?
I would, yeah.
Wow. What's that feel like?
It's a little scary. At first, I was like, I don't think I can do it because, like, everyone's here, like, you know. But thinking about, like, things I want to do and stuff, I just feel like it's definitely a necessary, like, step.
Yeah.
And like I said, like, I've definitely grown a lot throughout college, but I think just stepping out into a different environment, bigger city, more diversity, just like changing, because I'm very comfortable and I just need to like be a little scared and a little, you know, shake it up to really.
That's a really great perspective, actually, to push yourself outside of your comfort zone.
Right.
Because it's very easy when we're comfortable to just stay there.
Right.
And just go along as
Yeah.
things are. But that doesn't always mean that we're growing, right?
Exactly.
I think we can grow in the place where we are. But sometimes we need to
An extra like,
we need
level
to
up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Push ourselves and see other things, see what else the world has to offer, and experience those things firsthand to really discover where we belong.
Right.
I know sometimes people leave and they come back. That might be you.
That might be me, yeah.
Who knows? Do you have like a long-term career goal? Like,
Yeah. I would like to be a news anchor, but I really like sports, and I didn't really do a lot of broadcasty stuff in school, and I wish I did, because I think I would like to get into like sports broadcasting. So somewhere in that area, I think is what I really want to get into.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You are a very articulate and bright young woman, and I'm sure that you will achieve whatever you set your mind to achieve. So I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
With that. It's been lovely to talk to you, and we're coming towards the end of our time. So
Okay.
I want to ask you something that I'm accustomed to asking all my guests now.
All right.
And you mentioned earlier that you love Vermont. So I want to ask you to tell me what it is that you love, whether it's about your hometown or about being down here in Castleton. What is it about Vermont that makes you say, I love Vermont?
Yeah. As much as I don't really like winter,
I'm with you.
I really like the seasons, like the different drastic change in like seasons. I
Yeah.
really like.
Yeah.
And a part of me wants to go somewhere warmer, but not somewhere like too warm. And I just know, I feel like I would miss the different, like, I don't think how cold it gets, but like it getting cold when it's snowing. So I really like the different seasons here and how pretty it is. And everyone, it's just so nice. And I feel like when I get out, that's not always going to be the case, you know? So yeah, just like how nice everyone is.
I think Vermont is a very special place because of that, you know,
Right.
and many of my guests have expressed similar feelings that the people here are just so genuine and good-natured, warm-hearted, just care about their community and their neighbors, and that's not true everywhere that you go.
Yeah.
But how great that you have that experience and that you have family here that you can always come back. You can always come home and get that warm feeling of being welcomed.
Right.
Especially if you're not getting that out in the world.
Yeah.
But I think there's always pockets of community and,
Definitely, yeah.
and kindness. You just have to find them.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to find them. And to your point about the seasons, I think I wonder almost if seeing your dad and your brothers working on, you know, tapping trees and all that stuff helped you appreciate in some ways the changes that occur, you know, because there's a certain time when you do that, right? And then there's a certain time when you plant things in the yard or you start to, you know, clear the flower bed and, you know, get the garden ready. And while the warmth does sound appealing to me too, I appreciate the seasons
Right.
a lot. Yeah, and it's something that is not unique to Vermont itself, but Vermont seasons are very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
What's your favorite one?
It's a mix between spring, because we're over winter, or I love fall. I was born in October. I love like Halloween and just like the leaves changing and like pumpkin apple cider, like all that whole time of year. So between those two, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how can you not love the season you're born in? I feel
Right.
right?
Yeah.
That's sort of a given. Yeah. So this is like off topic completely, but is Halloween fun at college?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
is it really over the top?
It is very fun. It's funny because like I didn't realize how big of a, like you have to go all out for Halloween.
Yeah. Well, here, from being here at PEG, that the Halloween parade in Rutland is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that is something people are planning their floats like all year for that. Yeah. So not as big of a deal in your hometown, I'm hearing.
No, I think it is, but I think I just more. Yeah, I would say it's about the same, but I definitely got into it more here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you been to the Halloween parade? Is that part of?
No, I haven't, but it's so funny we're talking about this because the other day I was talking to someone and they brought up the Halloween parade, but yeah, I haven't.
Oh my gosh. You have to do that. Right? You're still going to be here into the fall? Okay. You got to go to the Halloween parade.
Okay.
It is an experience.
I'll have to check it out.
It is an experience, yes. And it's a beloved event in Rutland.
Yeah.
So, can't miss out on that.
I'll definitely check it out.
Yes.
Stuff around, hopefully.
Yeah. So, when will you go back home then? If you're gonna be here through the summertime, do you
So
make
I'm
trips?
still working out my schedule. I will be going home at the end of May, probably. And then depending on, because it's weird, they don't offer a whole lot of classes for communications online, unfortunately.
Okay, so you have to be in person.
Yeah. So I'll see what I can get over the summer and probably through CCV. And then I'm probably going to have 1 or 2 classes in person. So, yeah, in the fall.
Yeah. And do you live on campus?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So you'll come back down to campus for that?
It might. I haven't signed up for housing. I don't know if I want to live on campus again or if I'll try and live off campus. It's another thing I need to work out.
Lots of things to think about, right?
Yeah.
Lots of things to think about.
Yeah.
And, do you want to have a kitty?
Right.
All those
Yes.
considerations.
Yeah.
What if some other one comes wandering by?
Right.
There was some kind of story a few years ago about the campus cat.
Yes, yeah.
Right? Did you ever meet that cat?
I see him all the time, yeah.
He's still around, wandering around? Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
That he lives somewhere, but he
Yeah,
goes all over the place?
His name is Max, and he lives like right next to the campus, and he's always out, especially when it's like this past week, he's been out all week.
Right, because the weather's been
with
nice.
The weather, yeah. He's literally just hangs out, walks around on the steps and everything. So
he's the official, I think the official unofficial mascot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And they
Max
just
the cat.
awarded him with a doctorate, I guess.
Right.
last
That's
graduation.
right. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to call him by his official title.
Right. Dr. Max.
Dr. Max. Yes. Dr. Max. Oh, well, Kianna, it's really been nice to chat with you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And chatting and sharing a little bit of tea and a little bit about yourself. Appreciate that. It's really been nice.
Yes, it was so much fun.
Thank you. And thank you all for watching. And I will see you next time on Tea and Talk.